As we consider the impact between mindset and habits and how those two things connect, I want to talk about a concept that I consider to be among the most important, perhaps the most important, when it comes to sticking to better habits and making those a reality. And that's a concept that I refer to as identity-based habits. So let me give you an example. Usually when we talk about building better habits or achieving a goal of any type really, it's a two-part conversation. We talk about the outcomes that we want to achieve, and we talk about the actions that we have to get there, the plan that we have for achieving those goals. But it usually stops there. And so we can think about behavior change like the layers of an onion, I guess. The outermost layer is the outcome or the result that you want to achieve. And that's like losing 20 pounds in the next 6 months, for example. The next layer in is the actions that you take to achieve that result. So for example, doing 20 push-ups or working out 4 times a week. But usually we stop at that. I think that there's one layer deeper of behavior change, right? One layer beneath the actions that we take. And that is our identity, or the type of person that we believe that we are. And rather than trying to achieve our goals from the outside in by setting these goals and then hoping that we can stick to the actions and behaviors that we desire, I think we should set goals from the inside out. And so start with the type of person that you want to become or who could achieve the goal that you want, and then trust that the actions and the results will follow from that identity. So for example, rather than focusing on losing 20 pounds over the next 6 months, let's ask the question, who is the type of person that could lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months? And perhaps it's the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. And if that's the case, then we simply focus on becoming the type of person who doesn't miss workouts rather than worrying about how intense the workout is or what we actually do during the workout or what the result is or how much weight we lose. And once we become that type of person, then we can shift to focusing on optimizing and improving the habits from there. And you can apply this in a variety of ways, right? So you could have, for example, let's say you want to write a best-selling book. Well, that's a great goal, but who is the type of person that writes a best-selling book? Well, it's the type of person who writes every day. So let's focus on becoming a writer and becoming the type of person who writes each day. And once we have that identity, even if it's only writing for 5 minutes a day, then we can start to focus on improving the actions and thinking about the strategy of using those 5 minutes to write a book or scaling those 5 minutes into 15 minutes each day and so on. But build the identity first and trust that the actions and the results will follow from there. And this idea that identity is at the core of behavior change aligns very well with the mindset interventions that we've talked about previously. If you can shift your mindset, if you can shift the identity that you hold about yourself, then you often open yourself up to using and capitalizing on many of the resources that are around you. For example, if you take the writer example and focus just on becoming the type of person who writes for 5 minutes each day, you'll probably start to see all sorts of opportunities for becoming a writer, for capitalizing on those 5 minutes here and there, for finding space to perform that habit. Meanwhile, if you had started from the outside in and focused on how do I write a best-selling book, well, then you start to see far fewer opportunities because the goal seems so large and the identity does not match with the type of person that you are. And this is the thing that makes identity-based habits so powerful, which is that when the identity that you have and the behavior that you want to achieve match up, it's no longer behavior change. You're simply being the type of person that you already are. And so once you're able to shift your identity to match up with the type of outcome that you want, you just get to play things out in a normal way, rather than feeling like you're trying to force yourself to become something that you're not, or to feel uncomfortable and get into a new situation that you feel uneasy about. You're able to match up the type of person that you believe you are with the type of outcomes that you want to achieve.